Sorry everyone, I knocked the camera off the table earlier, so I have to readjust it now. Hi! Hello, I am Carney.
Hello.
Welcome to the weekly dev stream. I'm community manager. With me right now is Athos, the lead animator of Second Extinction. Hi, how are you?
Hello, I am good. I am good. Me and my beard are here, and we're both very happy today.
Yes, they have noticed the majestic beard. I can only cry in envy as I look at it. Alright, who have we got in chat? Oh my lord, it's already so active. Hello everyone.
Hello, Jim. There we go.
Yes, official Toast. Hey Toasty. Rora's here. Kyla. Hello Kyla. All the important people are here. Grand Lord Lethris. Ooh, Maisie Run. That's a name I've never seen in chat before, I don't think. Hello, welcome.
Oh, I might be pulling in some extras here from ages gone past.
Oh, well, hello, Athos' friends from ages past.
You'll notice them
welcome.
because they'll refer to me as OB. That would be the giveaway right there.
OB, Obsidian Beard, I imagine.
Yep. Hey, Maisie. Been a while.
Big OB fan. How are you awake? Nobody needs sleep. That's not how it works. Hi, Raptor.
We don't sleep, we make games.
Hello, Camp Survivor. Hi. So nice to see all of you. I hope you've all prepared your questions. You will be quizzed at the end. Athos will be answering some questions that I've prepared, but if you have any, please throw them in chat, and we will try to sprinkle them in between. It's all good. How's everybody's week been? Let's do some small talk first. I've had a really, really awesome week that I want to talk about, so now I have to ask you first, so I get an excuse to talk about mine.
Asking my brain what I've done this week, I'd have to like do weird things. Like go look at a calendar. The calendar tell me. Calendar, what did I do this week? Oh, I got our company provided monthly massage on Monday. So.
Oh, amazing! I think
Yeah.
I'm getting mine next week. Oh, I'm so looking forward to that.
Nice.
I gave last month's to an external person who was visiting, so I've been missing out. I'm really tense now.
I don't think I could ever be that kind to give away my massage to another person. I'm not sure I have that in me.
Oh, trust me, she needed it more than I did. This means Jack's beard is going to be increased in size and animated with jiggle physics. Yeah, so
Oh yes, please.
what about animating Jack's beard to just flow in the wind?
Oh, I'd love to. I mean,
Oh.
based on the scope of things, if we did go for it, we'd probably what's the word? Make it procedural and let the engine handle it. But I am
Oh,
all for
absolutely.
keyframing details per animation throughout a project's lifespan. If that's the plan at the beginning, then that can be very fun.
Absolutely. Jiggle Jack. How many years for that beard, Alias wants to know.
That's really hard to tell because it kind of reached more or less maximum length after a small handful of years, and then after every year after that, it extends the maximum length by maybe a centimeter.
Oh.
It only takes like somewhere between 3 and 5 to get to your initial maximum, which was, I don't know, maybe here, like 10 years ago or something, and then it's just a bit more.
And it just kept growing.
Yeah, it's pushing the boundary as far as it can go. In fact, it's off my screen, and then it's even further off your screen. So, it's below the solar plexus.
We need a bigger camera.
Wait. If I go in reverse, it's
we need-
above the top of my head.
Oh.
That's the other way of measuring it.
I love that.
Okay, so here's the sad truth about Perk's most efficient beard build. You have to be born Greek or Italian or somewhere similar in that Mediterranean area.
I have to get lucky.
At least that's the perk I've got. So.
Or northern, maybe some Viking genes. Maybe you have some of those.
Yes, Viking will definitely give you the length. It will give you different tones, but it'll definitely give you the length. So either one is good.
So ready for the launch in 14 days. So are we, Kylo. We are so excited, aren't we, Athos?
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to see the feedback of the changes and how it explodes online.
Me too. So much work culminating into this one event.
Yeah.
It's unbearable. We are so excited for it. Are you doing a preview stream of launch next week? Not in the direct sense, Reaper, so we won't be streaming on the developer branch, but we will be showing off quite some footage from the game while we talk about the atmosphere and the lighting in the new map compared to the old map. It's going to be a really interesting one as well. We are having Alan, our design... Wait, what's the title? Art lead, I think it was. That is next week. But for this week, we have this wonderful being here.
Yep.
Any chance we could turn the...
He'll give you lots of details. He's great. Apparently, I might be a bit loud, so I don't know if that's me speaking quietly or just the game, your end being a bit loud. But
a bit loud? What does stream think? Is Athos too loud?
No, as Toast said, the game is a bit loud compared to my voice. So it's either turn me up or the game down.
Oh. Alright,
According to the feedback we're getting.
Let me just turn that down then.
Or I could play in handicap and I can move the mic closer and just hold it with my hand. Play one-handed, but...
Play with your feet. I've seen plenty of people do that. Alright, let's just drop into a free roam here.
Yeah,
you can use whatever you want. And then we'll start talking business.
Right, I should be all equipped. I've already applied my contracts.
I'll keep the others in line.
Earlier. Yeah, you've got some nice skins to play with. I've not unlocked on this one. All of my levels came from playtesting in the developer editor, not in my personal profile.
Alright. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, this Calavera Katrina skin is my favorite skin in the game. I just think it is so amazing.
All-encompassing, what have you had the most time in on the game's animations? I love it, he's jumping ahead on your own questions.
Yeah, you're taking my questions away, how dare you? No, I mean, feel free to answer that.
I mean, so the thing with lead animator is, it encompasses many things.
Everyone, stay sharp. We rendezvous when we touch soil.
Every day can look different, but... It can everything from like supporting teammates to God, my brain. I just need to activate it real quick. Yes, second extinction. So progress tracking. I had to record the tracking, like the progress of our animations, how well they're going, prioritizing workloads for people, signing off tasks when we feel they're done, doing some animations myself, which is great, but lead animators don't get to do a lot of that sometimes. Helping, supporting, building other people's skills or helping their tasks directly. I'm very team focused and orientated, but for the project, for Second Extinction itself, the primary focus for the animation is consistency. I want to make sure there's a lot of consistency throughout all the animations we have throughout the game. So we don't want anything too low or too high above what we get on average through our dinos and player and weapon animations.
That makes a lot of sense. Somebody would have to keep track of that, so not everybody just does their own thing, and then it's kind of scrambled together.
Yeah, you kind of go up the tiers, you get to senior, you're like, cool, what's above senior? And the workload actually shifts completely sideways. You stop doing as much high-level animation, and you start doing a lot of documentation and paperwork and management. Administration, there's the word, administration. Or production type skills. So.
Absolutely. Is the Horde mode staying snowy, or would it also be like a dust storm kind of vibe? I think Horde mode stays on the Tundra map for now. I don't think we did any changes or added a new map to Horde
Should we get
mode.
going?
That would be really cool though.
I realized we're waiting on me just to press the A button.
See you on the ground, team.
Of course. I saw actually one of the changes in the release game will be that the press space or press A to continue will glow, so people don't AFK on that loading screen, forgetting that they have to do something to continue, which I think is just, that makes so much sense.
The hardest challenges. Another prepared question. This is great. So for second Extinction, actually, so for me specifically, one of the big dinos we might be giving a sneak peek later. We'll see what happens. Has a very complex and unique rig to it. So on the tech side. Wow, this is great. Trying to think of details while shooting dinos. We are on the hardest difficulty, right?
No, we are not.
Oh, okay.
I thought since you have a pretty low-level account, I would give you some leeway, so you can focus on your answers.
No, I mean, who needs that? If anything, it's better to watch me die while attempting that. So we don't have to make it too easy.
Well, you can still die. It's just a challenge now. I trust you will do your best.
Anyway, I'm certain I was halfway through an answer. Challenging. So there's a very long neck on a soon-to-be released dino with launch, and it was a very let's say the neck had its own personality onto itself, and it liked to do things its own way in very unpredictable ways. So we had to keep revisiting the rig for that, looking at how the neck itself is constructed and how we could physically animate it.
Oh, I would love to see some early development videos of the neck just absolutely spazzing out. That would probably be so much fun to watch.
I'm not sure how many videos were recorded, but yes, it's one of those things. The early stuff is when you stream the video directly to between the animators when we're working from home.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just like, ouch, oh, you have to deal with that. Okay, how can we help? What can we do?
That's so fun. Twitch drops next week, possibly. Wait, did I set something up. I don't remember what I set up because I've been so busy preparing the stream.
Well, actually, to be fair, the long neck, the soon-to-come-in long neck boy was shared between me and Katerina, fantastic animator. She was on previously. I know she's been on stream some months back.
Yeah, I had her on, I think, back in January or something like that, or even December.
Yeah, so that was because that big boy was such a complex set of mechanics and rigs and size, so there's so many things we had to try and get right. We split the entire workload between the two.
Alright, well,
she definitely deserves at least an equal portion of
yes. We all love Kata. If you're out there somewhere, Kata, we love you. You did a great job. Thank you so much.
Oh, hell yeah.
Is the game still too loud? I turned it down to about half. Please give us some feedback on that as we go on.
Little bit is with clipping on the models. How do you guys manage this? Like their models animate to not clip through themselves or their clothes. Reading chat got myself down.
There you go. I told you could do it. I believe you.
Right, I could. Challenge met and accomplished right there. There we go.
Need to be more You're good.
Right, that's like amazing stuff.
Those are overrated.
Taking a stim.
It's been a while since me and my friends went through all of the missions on our personal accounts during a few evenings and just got really good at owning every mission on Insane. That was quite fun. And then we're like, you know what? Let's maybe take a rest until launch comes out and we get all the new content we're making.
I think a lot of people are just kind of in hibernation and waiting for full launch, for more content they can play, more stuff to unlock. I think a lot of people are in that same mindset right now.
Yeah, okay, there's a way, I have to try and remember the button press or combination to fire I think I can fire like a multi-incendiary spread ammo with this shotgun.
Oh yeah, you just have to long press, well, at least on keyboard and mouse. Just long press the shooting button. That
right, without aiming.
Yes.
There it is. Okay, cool.
The Dragon's Breath.
Part of full launch are you most excited about for the community to finally accept? Well, for me, as an animator, it's the dinos. I want the two big new dinos that are taking center stage. I hope the community gets to really enjoy them. The other dino, let's maybe call the other dino Flappy Boy. The flappy one, that was all animated by Kata. With me only doing tiny little tweaks on a couple of things, which I kind of did for all dinos across the board. I've done tiny little tweaks here or there, and little updates.
Alright. But you didn't, but you didn't just work on the new animations. I think you also added some animations to the already existing dinosaurs, which are really cool to look at.
Yes.
I believe we have something that we can show right after we kill.
So, of the most interesting ones, the one I remember the best would be for these raptors that we're taking out now. In the upcoming launch, they've got a new spawn variation that they can utilize, which is a very fun new feature.
Yeah, let me show that off real quick. Let me switch the scene there.
Alright, I'll try and keep you alive.
Well, I'm still around. We can just look at it on the other monitor. And I think it's a really cool. You want to describe a bit what's happening here?
So it's a combination of a single animation to get a variety of distance and you can. I think one of those, if you find the right dino, there's a triple forward flip, and some other dinos don't even flip. So we've got a large range of flipping out of the eggs, coming out and landing.
Maybe you can zoom in on that a bit. There you go.
Definitely give it a go. Yeah, we didn't record this specifically for the video when we first set this up that I provided. So
I think it looks like so much fun. It's just I love these flips. Oh wait, oh no, there's audio. Sorry for that, too loud. Sorry for that. I apologize. It is now muted. There was not supposed to be sound.
Laser raptors. Yeah, basically. They're basically laser raptors that come flying out and threaten the world and your personal well-being. So
yeah, I just think the idea of having eggs attached to walls is absolutely terrifying, because you never know when you're walking somewhere, you never know when something's just gonna drop on you. That's gonna be absolutely... I can't imagine.
Are there dinos you've animated that are not coming at full launch but later down the road? No, everything, all the dinos we've animated were specifically for full launch. So we wanted to maximize the time we had available before launch to be able to really focus on the delivery of these dinos, and as I said before, the consistency. That's very important to try and get as much equal quality of consistency throughout all the different features of those dinos that we can.
Absolutely. And I think it really paid off that we focused all those efforts on launch. It's there's definitely a lot to be shown off.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, Tenable Target. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Toast frigging loves it. I'm glad that you all like the new animation. It's just a little tidbit that we're showing off now, but you know, I think it's still important.
So one of the things as a lead animator is I'll have a design come up with several new features they'd like for a number of dinos or situations. And we'll go into discussion through all of them, and then I'll have to prioritize which ones can be done. And a new spawn for the raptors, a dino we get to see a lot in the game, that I decided that was a high priority to make sure we got that covered for launch.
Absolutely, yeah. It really pays off.
Yeah, that's got a bit, a good visual impact to the overall delivery of the product.
Hats off to you guys. This launch is gonna be awesome. Thank you, Aurora. We think so too. We really think that you're gonna love what you'll be playing. We can't wait. Little bit you showed off. You just showed us so much. So you showed off so much. No. You wrote unironically. So. Well, you know, we have some work to show off. So I think you mentioned to me that you also worked on weapon animations.
Yes. So little updates here and there. Definitely lots of bug fixes throughout my time here. But a weapon I got to own completely myself was the hand cannon, which is already available. That was one I finished a while back. So that was great fun, and I had I put a lot of extra effort into the reload. I wanted to have fun with that. That's kind of where the personality had greater scope to come to the front for that weapon.
Yeah, and there's so many little details to those reload animations that many people I think don't even realize are there. Let me show you the reload animation for the hand cannon as it is being tested in the dev environment.
Maybe make sure it's muted just in case I had loud, heavy metal music playing when I recorded.
That one does not seem to have any audio.
Excellent. That means I was clever enough to remove it. Yes, having the shells bounce off of the main weapon on the reload, that was so much fun to do.
Absolutely. If you in stream if you look at the left shell there, it bounces off the casing. I think that's just a detail I never noticed before you pointed it out to me. But now that I do notice it, I appreciate it so much. It's just such a little thing.
You only get it on the double shell reload. On the single shell reload, we don't get the bounce. We only reload one shell instead of both, and it's a shorter animation. And also because there's perks for the hand cannon to speed up reload. I think this might even be 2 perks right now in the game when I looked earlier. That allow you to speed up the animation, so that would go past you really quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
But that one was a topic. After I animate, I was like, "Hey guys, isn't this cool?" It's like, yeah, but third person. How are we gonna make sure that looks good in third person? And that's where you have to. There's so many different little tricks you have to do with animation. So in third person, we have to choose which frame we want to transition from animation to physicalized object in the game world, and let the game engine take over the physics. There's a real trick for first person for the reload. So the shells that come out and bounce around are the exact same shells you pop in. So you have to do a lot of cheating outside of the camera frame. Those shells are teleporting around and moving very fast to get in position to be plugged back in.
Oh, okay.
So
they're the exact same ones.
Yes, the exact same ones. We literally only have 2 shells as part of the rig. So there's this is a common feature in animation for games, is where you get the bare minimum, like maybe 1 bullet, and then you have to reload that 1 bullet over and over and over again within a single animation if you're going for the old school single bullet at a time thing.
Okay, and what if there's a magazine where you already see a couple of bullets in and you see you push them down? How does that work?
So that the cheat there is they're kind of one object. They're not individual bullets. It's like one mesh, and that you just put bones in, so it animates as one thing. But if there was God, I'm trying to think how you when you take it out, I think all the bullets are spent, so you don't have to play around with an empty shell the way you do with shotgun shells. So when you take it out, it's just an empty magazine, and when you put it in, the bullets appear on there. And the only difference there being is the actual rig itself doesn't remove the bullets, so you've got a switch inside the engine that turns the bullets' visibility on or off. So when you take out the empty magazine, they're just turned off. They're still there technically, but you don't see them. And then when you plug them back in, they've been turned back on, so you can see them again. And then maybe you can get a little bit of animation added to like each individual bullet as they push against things or bounce because you slap them into place.
Oh, there's so much technicality to that. I love that. Absolutely amazing stuff.
Thank Come in stats, 8% slower.
Have you? Yeah,
That's
Toast
num-
knows all the stats, so apparently you can
Wow.
get 55% faster with it. All right.
Wow.
Have you considered adding silly or skillful-looking reloads like the Battlefield special animations, or the twirl reload from Destiny 2? That's a good question.
Magic hands reloads, Destiny hand cannon reloads. No, not specifically. A lot of those. So let's see, Destiny 2 and I'm not sure about Battlefield, but I definitely know Destiny 2 and another game I'm trying to think of, Overwatch. They're very long life services, so they've been launched for a long time. So that in that situation when you've been around for quite a number of years, you can then look at everything you have and just ask, can we add more variety of things that already exist? Add more flavor and spice. The aim with building up a first launch is you're trying to get the base personality for each character, weapon, whatever it is you're animating. Your base personality is what comes out on launch. And if there's any extra flavors or silly or funny things, that's kind of like an update you'll get later on if you get time to come around and do that. Also, there's the tone. You want to make sure the base tone of the product you're making is what you release first. And I would say if there's any update, I believe we might be trying to shift the tone a little bit away from silly and a little bit more towards like gritty and survival.
Absolutely, yeah.
But that's probably more of a designer topic than a me topic. That's me talking to designers when looking at what we've still got left to do and any shifts we want to make.
That is a question for a release stream then. You gotta be there for the release stream. You can ask it again.
That's right. The more people who buy the game, the bigger the budget for special animations.
Yes. And also, well, the more copies sold, one person can also buy it 10 times, you know.
For friends, right? Yeah, not for yourself. Just, for friends. I know, does Steam do that thing it used to do back in the day where you buy 4 copies of the game, so you give like 3 out to friends, and then you immediately be able to like jump in together with a 4-person world game? I remember that being a thing.
I remember that too. Or even where you only had to buy 1 copy and then you could play it with a friend for free, which is even cooler, I think. For games like It Takes Two and what was the other one? A Way Out, I think.
Yep, there's a couple of
really
games
cool
that
concept.
introduced that, and then Steam. If there's local co-op on games, Steam shifted local co-op to be streamable co-op as well. But with a game like this, we have online profiles, so local wouldn't help.
Damn it! Last magazine.
Or, wouldn't be able to save the characters and the progress levels.
Unfortunately.
Not quite an option. Yeah, not quite an option for us. Unoffensive crossover when you guys hire that dinosaur.
Oh, did you see that one?
I'm not sure if I have.
I shared it in the Slack channel somewhere, and I reshared that on Twitter multiple times. There's a person on Twitter who animates dinosaurs with swords and different weapons.
Oh my God,
it's absolutely amazing.
I have seen it. I saw it and I wanted it.
Yeah, me too. And I just retweeted that saying, so when is that getting added to second Extinction?
Yeah. I mean,
so
you've
cool.
got my vote. I'm all for that. When I first came onto the project, I was like, so guys, can we have a range of melee weapons? That's just because I'm a big like sword and medieval weaponry fanboy.
Absolutely, so am I. I mean, maybe more modern weapons, but as long as it's melee, I am all for it.
Yeah, just kind of like some techno machetes. Right, you still need to go through jungles and cut down trees even in the future.
Yeah, true. That is not an announcement for a jungle map, by the way. Please
unfortunately.
don't take that out of context.
I'd love to. If, that's the kind of things where we would have said yes to a lot of the crazy ideas if we were AAA production. But we have to keep reminding ourselves we're AA. We might have some AAA experience per person. That as a team and a budget, we're at AA. So we have to make sure we can, which is one of the reasons you hire someone like me. I hear the great ideas and I go, that is great. I'm going to put that in the list of great ideas that unfortunately don't fit into AA right now.
Yeah,
But if
unfortunate.
something magical happens and we suddenly get the budget for AAA, I'll bring that back.
You want to set up a GoFundMe?
Yeah.
Help Avalanche Studios. Or help Systemic Reaction.
Just help the dinos, really.
Help the dinos.
Yeah, love for the dinos. We want the dinos to be bigger, badder, and harder. And the way war and technology works, the harder your enemy, the more things you need to come up with yourself to be able to defeat them. So if the dinos get swords, maybe the humans should get some swords.
I think so too.
Match them.
Makes sense.
Definitely dino swords first.
Alright, another really important question that I had, or a really interesting question I think is, as a team lead, how do you work together with the rest of the animation team, splitting up those chores and working on those animations so they come out the way you want them to?
Right, so as I mentioned earlier, me and Katerina had to share the big claws boy. But also consistency is of highest paramount, right? And we're both different animators, so the consistency would be split if we just took everything and cut them in half. So we had to be quite smart about that. And the main aim we went for is she covered the combat and actions, and I covered traversal and personality.
Okay.
Animations. So this way, each section of the animations contain within themselves consistency. And then there was even one case where into attacks, which is a common thing in games and animation, we realized that for this particular dino, they were less about the telegraphing of an immediate attack, which would have been for Cat, and more about showing off the intent and about the personality. So we actually shifted those over to me because of the actual way that those are used.
Okay, so into animations are basically something an enemy does before they attack to show you.
Yes, quite often it is, but for this particular dino, it's instead of being like a smooth blend, it's more of a standalone thing to really provide that intent of what the dino wants to do and what they're feeling. It's got a lot more personality than would normally you'd have for intos.
Yeah, Toast would like to know more about personality animations.
Personality animations, you might have heard them referred to in other contexts as idle breaks, where a character, while outside of, say, the combat features and attacks, they'll have an animation that shows off their own personality. So those animations referenced earlier from other games where they reload guns in a certain way. If you were to put that on a specific character, like only this character flips their gun upside down to reload it, you'd call that a personality-based reload for that particular character. The intent animations we've got for the big claw boy are really to show off that it's got a lot of rage. It's got some anger issues, let's say. It's got some anger, some frustration it wants to let out.
Oh, some frustration. I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, so do some of the players, so I think that energy is matched.
Oh, actually, the other thing that's really important about them is not just personality for those animations. They also provide a weak spot. So during those animations, a weak spot is exposed, and this gives the player a conundrum, right? Would you like to, now that you can see the animation thing, it's like you know a big attack is going to be followed, do you want to do everything you can to try and avoid the incoming damage and increase your personal longevity? Or do you want to take advantage of the weak spot, get increased damage, and hopefully shorten the fight? That at risk of taking damage yourself by the follow-up attack.
I know that I will always be the person who goes for the extra damage and then just gets hit in the face. Like, guys, I'm down again. Help, please.
Yeah,
That is
I'm
always
just saying,
me.
when me and my wife combo co-op through a game, she'll take the range backline character, I'll take the melee frontline character, and you can guess which one of us gets down.
Oh, Lord.
Which one of us is doing the saving. the way we are. Doesn't matter what game, what context. It always turns out the same way.
Splitting up the responsibilities. That just makes a lot of sense. But I do think, speaking about personality and kind of intent, I do think we have a little something that we can show off that I think would look pretty cool. If chat would like to see it, I mean, maybe they don't want to spoil the surprise.
Do you want to see some Dino animation in chat? What do you think? I get it if you don't.
Yeah, we could show something off one of the new dinos.
I love how you're extending the time a little bit because wearing still the giant flashing.
Yes.
Like, how do I play animation and not die to the
Of course we do. Yes, definitely want to see that.
Okay, well there it is. There's the request.
I think we can show something. Let me switch over there. All right, so a little back thing. So this is the long-clothed boy. We still are not going to name it, but this is one of the personality, or I guess also intent animations that he has, and that he does in between his attacks, and I think it's really cool. Have a look. So, this long, he's pretty long claw.
Yes, I see it now. I hadn't seen this before, so I wasn't certain which one you're showing. The scraping on the walls.
Yes.
So another part, whether you want to call this personality or, I guess, yeah, it's a personality trait of the dino. This dino has a thing about wanting to, I don't know, inflict a bit of fear and panic into its prey. So it likes to scrape its claws across the wall. I guess you could also reference it to the animal kingdom we've got here when marking territory. So it makes it very clear on territory, but it's also a middle of combat thing that it will do. Because, screeching, scraping noises is never fun for any race or species to have to listen to. So,
absolutely. I love how his long claws are just his personality. You can just read it off of him that he loves to use them. He makes, he gets the advantage out of it, and he just gets a kick out of showing them off. Yeah, I unfortunately I had to cut that down a lot because I don't want to show too much, but I think this is a pretty good look at the Freddy Krueger of the Dino Kingdom. Exactly. That is. I think that... Did you take inspiration from Freddy Krueger for this one?
It was one of them. So when we talked about personality, visual representation, and things that can affect animation, we looked a little bit Freddy Krueger regarding claws, of course, but also a little bit of Joker regarding like that personality and... something to do with visual of how the face looks, maybe just slightly Jokerish, slightly maniac, right? I'd call this dino a little bit of a crazed maniac.
Most definitely. You can see even the face a little bit in this one. So yeah, definitely a very good visual for what you are describing right now. But yeah, I do remember that scene from, what was it, Nightmare 4 or something, where he just goes along the alley scraping both the walls, which I think one of the most legendary scenes in horror overall. And I really like this incorporation, or this, I guess, variant.
Exactly. So if we didn't give players, if we didn't give them such heavy ordnance and we didn't make them troopers, and this game was more horror themed, then yeah, we would have done that a lot slower paced. Mm-hmm. You'll see that this dino is not slow paced like Freddy Krueger. He's a lot more active.
Oh yes, very. He's extremely nimble for his size, I gotta say.
Yes.
Definitely did his acrobatics.
There is a particular small feature set of animations where the designer was like, said to me the words, and I took this part, I want more ninja. Can I just have a little bit more ninja of this animation, please? I was like, okay, alright, you understand the size of this dino, you want more ninja though, I can do more ninja.
And then you did more ninja.
I did a little bit more ninja for that particular feature action, let's say.
That's so good. Obsidian Beard's 2 baby beards are watching with me too. Who's Obsidian Beard's beard? Is that your wife?
Yes.
Ah. And then your 2 baby beards are watching as well. Were they born with full beards as per tradition?
We do have a video or a picture proving that one of them at least was, so I can only claim that the second one also, of course, was.
Yeah.
But I've only got proof of the one.
As they would be. Giving personality traits to the dinos pretty cool. Yeah, I think so too. It's something also that you don't consider a lot, I don't think. You just see, you know, an angry dinosaur, but you don't think too much about what makes the dinosaur look angry and why you perceive him as, you know, aggressive, or in games where they're maybe not aggressive, how to make them docile with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is how do I approach this? It's definitely a strong emphasis of animation. If you train as an animator, giving personality to anything you're animating is generally a lesson and a goal that you should have. And I guess it's what separates the tailored or hand-key animations from more what I call retro. The rotoscope
Ah, yeah.
are or animations based on copying of the real world or mocap. Although even for mocap, you want to give your actor directions of a personality. So personality should always be involved in this a little bit, in my opinion.
Oh, sadly I have to go. Great to see everyone.
Goodbye, Slippery Jim. Dude,
Bye.
It was great having you stop by, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for stopping by. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, did we miss any other? Were there any other questions?
I have barely been glancing. There's been a lot of dino fights. So
There's a lot of oh lord! I keep walking into this fog directly into a very big dinosaur. Last time it was the armor bull, and this time it's a necro flatback that just surprised me. Ow! Oh, luckily my wrath burst keeps flipping them over.
40-ton ninja. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is it 40 tons or is it heavier? I think I remember being told the actual tonnage was... Oh no, I looked it up. I looked up the tonnage of a T-Rex, and that was somewhere around 10 tons, right?
Yeah, I don't think this one is 40 tons. That's a lot.
No, actually, that might be less than its tonnage.
Really? Wow.
If you compare the height of the new one to a T-Rex, and consider a T-Rex is supposed to be around 10 tons, and then you have to think about maths and mass, right? But if you say double the height of something, you at least quadruple the weight of it.
True. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That makes sense.
It's a big, heavy boy.
Oh wow! Oh lord. Yeah, he coming.
Rough guess. A rough guess that it's not actually too far up, I don't think.
How difficult were the pterodactyls to animate?
So the dactyls, they brought the things they brought, challenges. The challenges they brought along were that we have no other flying dinos. So that was there wasn't any other like dinos to compare to or take inspiration from in the game to find that consistency. You have to figure out what is consistency for completely brand new. What's the word I'm looking for? Like elevation. Spectrum. Entire spectrum of motion. So that's the first one, is like that style and how you're going to animate them. And then if we look at the more tech side of things, the wings. So the flying dino doesn't spend all of its time up in the air. There are reasons for it to land on the floor. So this means you have to then give a lot of extra consideration to the transition animations as you go from ground to air and vice versa. You have to keep revisiting that particular transition and the systems behind it within the engine. When do you trigger certain aspects? When do you turn on and off the certain code-based features and tags that control physics and things? And on the rig side, the wings for flight and the retracted wings for walking around, they're all folded up. They're not the same wings. We're not able to use the same model because polygons in computer games cannot squash and stretch in realistic and useful ways. It's always better and the go-to to swap them out with a different mesh. So we then had to figure out exactly what the timing was, and with the rig itself, it ended up being like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to rig two different sets of wings but make sure the transition animations keep hold of the same motion and don't have any like strange pops or motion going on? And what we did in the end is there are actually two sets of arms and two sets of wings on every dactyl rig, but they're linked to each other, they're overlapping each other. So the animator only ever has to worry about the one animation and the one thing they're seeing. But in code, we have to be very precise, and also with the intent animation. When do we switch from one to the other? When do we flip that switch that goes from set one wings to set two wings? And the rigging of that's where there's a big challenge. So this is where I'll be helping our technical animators, who are our riggers, and looking at the skinning and the way the bones are rigged to, and the controls, what they control and how they are set up to maximize the efficiency, productivity, and requirements for the animator once they receive that rig and have to animate it and update it. Because the other things are, it's going from wings flapping in the air to using the middle part of those wings to walk So there's a lot of things to consider that you won't think of when you first make it. So there's a lot of iterations and a lot of revisits and considerations that have to be made. And that's kind of where my experience can help, is when I come in already knowing some of the things that are useful to consider before you get stuck in and commit to a lot of things before you realize you then have to change some of those things.
Even if you have all that knowledge, it must have been pretty difficult to get that get that right.
The most my knowledge does was reduce the amount of times we have to revisit and update, but they did not eliminate the revisiting.
I will be right back. I have to go get some ammo. I ran out just now.
I could really do some ammo as well. Where
don't
is it?
die.
Wait, what have I got? Have I got an ammo drop? This whole time I've been out of ammo.
I do not know. Do you have one?
It's a drop of some sort. Wait, are those grenades? No, they're equipment. My bad. Grenades today, boys.
Too.
Grenades today. Grenades and healing. That's what we've got. Right, I think my friend took ammo because he gets special ammo drops for his grenade launcher. So I took equipment. I've still got the equipment bill.
Well then, maybe you should use one of those health kits you get with that. That's that's always a good idea.
And I'm totally not using my dash. My dash and my special. Right. Let's go special for a sec and use the last of my ammo.
I think I've used my special twice and both were on direct.
There we go, he's down.
Nice.
Yep.
Alright, that was a good fight. Was it also difficult to incorporate the buildings and the dinosaur interaction as well, or is that more for the character's advantage?
Is that a question you've read and I've got... Oh, my chat froze.
Oh no.
Okay, I'll fix that soon.
That is also a question on YouTube. I don't know if you have YouTube chat open.
No, I don't. I did not know we're streaming to two separate platforms.
Oh, we're streaming to Steam as well.
Oh my god.
3 platforms.
3 chats would be too much for my brain to handle while also playing this game. I mean, I know you're a rather impressive person. You've got your level 50 already set up and achieved. I'm on my lowly little level 8, and there's only so much I can multitask, apparently.
Yes,
So
I believe
please
you.
repeat the question. I've made myself forget it.
Of course. Was it difficult to incorporate the buildings and the dinosaur interaction as well, or is that more for the character's advantage?
Actually, there's more of a thing for the characters, so I'll let you in on a little secret regarding our QA testers and a particular bug, or let's say exploit of features and terrain and collision that they were constantly bugging and trying to help level designers figure out how to reduce the exploit as much as possible. And also, the character we're both playing, Ortega, she's a primary point. So the dash. When you dash off a certain shaped geometry, it can send you flying in the air.
Yes.
Like rocket jumping throughout the air.
Yes.
So if you're able to angle this, you could land on top of something that our dinos don't currently have the nav mesh ability to reach themselves. And with so many dinos being melee based, at least on the base level of them, that was something that level designers and QA were constantly rediscovering, going back and forwards, to reduce how many different instances there are of high up out of the way areas that players could go hide in.
Yeah, I think Toast, Toast, who is in chat, is a very infamous out of bounds hunter.
Yeah.
And he has shared with me a list of YouTube videos on how to get out of bounds in certain places, and it's very interesting.
Yep.
The places he has gone to, I don't think anyone's been to before, like the top of the satellite dish in Lada Plains.
Nice. I mean, that kind of stuff's just fun, right? As a gamer, that stuff's just fun to pull off. There's a certain point as a developer, you're like, you know what? If players really want to do this, they're just going to do it, and that's fine. We just want to make sure it doesn't happen accidentally for too many casual players.
Need a payload.
But if you want to go out of your way to find something, then devs shouldn't work too hard to restrict that.
I think so too. Well, some developers have been known to kind of, you know,
exactly. But
patch
I'm
out
speaking as a
certain
player here. I'd rather some developers didn't care quite as much as a few of them do, right? Like, let's have our fun, right? It might not be a sandbox game, but if we want to treat it like a sandbox game, how about we're just allowed to do that? Maybe.
Yeah, I think so too. Hey Timo, welcome to stream. How's it going? I hope your weekend's going great.
But yeah, and if we go back to revisit the dinos regarding navigation and buildings and such, the way that works is the engine itself has metrics for how high, say, a dino can jump. And then the dino has its own personal collision that the engine is able to read automatically, know how much space it needs to be on a surface area. And then the thing we call a nav mesh is automatically painted everywhere. So whether I'm walking up and down stairs, on top of the platform, on top of the building, nav mesh is automatically painted as a flat grid on top of surfaces and angling around, going, right, this is how wide it is, this is the dimension, and these are how you path from this location to that location. There's nav mesh. Or there's a break in the nav mesh because the edge of the cliff, and this is how high a dino can jump. So it's not so much unique animations that I need to make to do that. It's more actually on level design, making sure that the width of all the different intended navigational areas are wide enough for the desired dinos to be able to get onto.
All right, thank you for that insight. But yes, Raptor and Ando are also veterans of the game and veterans of going out of bounds and places they should not or weren't intended to go.
So in terms of a nav mesh, I don't think there's different in terms of us having to tag nav mesh X here and nav mesh Y there. That's not quite how it works. It's more like one blanket, very complex, self-drawn nav mesh throughout the world and anywhere you load up. Although one interesting thing I can inform you about nav mesh is they are pre-generated. They might not be preloaded, but they are pre-generated. So when you make a new mesh as a developer and you throw that mesh in the game, the nav mesh won't change. You have to tell the engine to do an add nav mesh update, and then you save that nav mesh as a separate thing. So when we load graphics, all the different components of the environment, those are loaded as completely separate things to the nav mesh. And I guess that's where you might say certain things like, if I look at the floor and I see grass or I see rocks and details, those things are loaded on a layer that don't include nav mesh. The nav mesh will look at the base rock bed, the base polygon mesh of the models that make up the terrain itself, or the giant rocks. So hopefully that helps answers that question.
Absolutely.
Being that I'm an animator, and that is in no way my my field of speciality.
Yeah. Yeah, they have been around for a very, very long time. And I really appreciate that, of course. I appreciate everyone, you know, who's part of the community.
I feel like almost every player does it, or at least I feel like they do, because before I joined, they gave me a copy of the game like a week early. So obviously I load that up straight away. I'm like, what is this game? What's it like? What am I going to go work on specifically? And one of the first things I do is like, oh, I'm level 1, first time playing this game. This T-Rex absolutely wrecks me. Where can I go exploit? What terrain can I exploit? What nook or cranny can I hide in? What can I stand on top of and snipe him from? Right? Those are all the questions that immediately go through my head. And that's how I defeated my first Rex, was by exploiting his ability to traverse and the terrain to my advantage.
We love the cheese. I am Swiss, so I'm a big fan.
That's fair.
I bet dynamically changing the nav mesh links. This is way too high for me. Links as things change in the map must be fun, such as doors opening. Oh, we love doors opening. Yeah.
So that's why nav mesh never dynamically changes. The nav mesh on the floor between the front of the door and the back of the door will always be exactly the same and true if it's a door that can open. What the door does is it will have a tag that informs any pathing. So if you think of navigation pathing for AI, that's the thing that updates actively. And it goes, oh, I go from this bit of ground to a bit of ground, over and around there, up onto that bit of ground, jump from that bit of nav mesh to that bit of nav mesh, to get to my location, which is the target player most likely. But while I'm doing that, I'll keep double checking if a shorter distance has become available. Things that can block distance sometimes might be other bigger dinos. I'm not sure. I didn't set up that logic. But it definitely doors. The doors will be like, oh, that is blocking me going that way. Is there a different way for me to go? And as soon as the door opens and the AI does another pass of is there a shorter distance, it will then see it's no longer. But the nav mesh itself won't physically change. It's the AI logic.
Hey Dwayne, welcome to stream.
Your chat is putting me to the test, dude. I thought they'd be asking me about animations. About,
No. This is
looks good, feels good.
This is actually a hidden competency exam. These are all high stakes members of Avalanche.
Like, wait, he says lead animator. To be a lead, that means you have to know everything. That's testing.
Yes.
Athos wants to visit me. He's allowed to visit me and distract me. Why not? Why not?
Yes.
I don't mind it. I'm interrupted on stream. That's
Well,
fine.
we have just ended the mission, so
True. We were
gonna be
successful.
chilling
What a
now.
perfect time.
Yes.
He has permission if he still wants to.
After the stream, I'm going to rewatch the beginning. Yes, please do that. You
Stream
missed
live.
quite some things. Very successful mission, I would say.
Just opening the window real quick. Get some air.
That is a very good idea. I would like some air as well.
I think this game has increased the temperature of my computer. Streams, the various different channels I've got open, and I haven't even closed my animation program, so I've just got everything running right now.
It's just so rendering something in the background.
My computer's probably like, hey, could you open the window, please? I'm getting a bit of help here, man. You're getting me to
Help.
right now.
But yeah, I mean, you clearly see that whenever you play with me, you get a lot of cool augment drops, and that has always held true.
Nice, yeah.
As you can see here.
What have we got? I've got an outfit. I've got a rosy outfit and blue material. I think these are my contracts coming through now. Yes. A lot of XP experience. Level 9.
Yes, congrats.
That was more than one level you gave me. It was like a level and a half.
Double
and
beard.
the research for upgrading, I've got like 2,000 research. That's a lot of nodes to unlock.
Do it.
Double beard. Yes. When a beard is so epic, it grows its own beard.
The beard spirit. I love that name for your wife on the on
Yeah.
Twitch. Just Obsidian Beard Spirit.
Yeah. She came on with herself, and I was the idiot. I was like, I'm not sure. That sounds a bit much. And then she asked a chat we were in back when we were making accounts. And someone was like, "That's amazing," and the streamer was like, "That's amazing, do it."
Yes, I like it too.
And then we'll be in the past. We've done things like she has done that thing where you buy someone a sub for a channel, and then they'll read out the sub. It's like, Obsidian Beard has been gifted a sub by Obsidian Beard's Beard. You kind of see their brain break a little bit, like, huh?
When your kids get Twitch channels, they just have to be Obsidian Beard Spirit and Obsidian Beard Spirit.
Yes,
just...
the names have already been created, but not the channels. But it's like we got OBB, OBBBB.
Yeah, this is the way. Yeah. I shall call him Mini Beard.
That would be the easy way of doing things, and we don't do things the easy way here.
Yeah, no, we don't do that. All right. Oh, it is already past 5. Wow.
Really?
Yeah. It is 5:02. How time flies when you're having fun.
Wow.
Do we miss anything?
The mission can take a little while.
Took 48 minutes. But we did a lot. We completed all the things.
Yeah. I wonder, is there anything else? Any other questions from yourself or from chat?
Yeah, maybe we can show off the last little thing, which is the reload bug that you had that annoyed you so much.
Oh my god, yes.
With the hand cannon.
We can talk about this reload bug. It's hilarious. Hello! Oh no!
Hello, Mini Beard.
They're calling you Mini Beard. Here we go.
No, it needs to be on a track.
Do you want to take it away and do that? Okay, you're allowed to. It's your toy. You had fun. You had fun, little one. Yeah. So I will the video.
1 second. Let me just answer this one question because it's a short
Okay.
one. Can we make ultra difficulty harder? Yes. Thank you. That's the answer. At okay. At launch, insane difficulty will be much harder. Let me tell you that. Normal is still, I think, a comparable, pretty similar experience. It's pretty easy for new players, but insane will be... Just do what we did in the closed beta when we hopped into insane without any gear at level 1. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me show off this hand cannon reload that you sent me there.
Ow.
So, do you want to describe what's happening?
So, this was hilarious. Even today, I cannot explain to you the what's the word? The logic behind what is happening. I just know the cause of it. So during this animation of the reload in engine, this was before I fixed it. There's going to be one frame you guys might not be seen on stream. I don't know if you can drag through and try and pause on the frame.
Oh,
but
I cannot.
The part of the glove for one frame is jumping up into the air, into the middle of the screen, and going back down. And I was like, why is that happening? What, like?
And it only happens with the double shell reload as well.
It only happened with the double reload. And I was like, okay, let's think about this. The only way the glove would move is if the bone inside the hand moves away from the hand. So I checked the animation. I was like, no, I don't animate the bones. I mean, because you wouldn't animate the bones. It didn't accidentally happen. I don't even think you can. You notice that one sort of doing your testing for reload speeds. Well, hopefully it got fixed because I definitely implemented the fix. And I realized, so earlier I talked about the shells cheating, right? When it bounces and goes off screen, as soon as it leaves the frame, it's quite far away from the hand. I have to, over the course of one frame, teleport it into the hand hidden to then pull it out with the fingers and plug it in. So for me, the way I animate on the frame. So one frame is down there, one frame's up here. When you put it in engine, what the engine does is it can read the in-between frames and it has to apply logic to them. So it travels from down there up here, and then the next frame from being here is still here again. But in the engine's head, it's like, oh, from frame here to here, I do that. But then from frame here to here, I must follow through and come back. And so the shell itself is coming up here. And then for some unknown reason I cannot explain, the cartridge is pushing the glove up and then bouncing back down into place. And then it's getting pushed in. And that doesn't make any sense to me. What would make sense is the cartridge clipping through the hand coming up. I would have seen that, known what it is very quickly and fixed it. But it took me a long while to realize that for some reason, the shell is somehow colliding with the mesh and stretching the mesh. Stretches it out of position. So the way I had to fix that was change the pathing, like teleport it to the elbow, and then from the elbow come up to the hand and give it like an extra frame of static.
All right, from the elbow. So if you saw that from below, you would just see the arm and then just just a shell really quickly travel.
It basically travels up. I might even put it inside the arm, and it kind of like comes up through the arm and like extends out of the hand.
Spider-Man, but with shells.
Spider-Man's wedding with shells, exactly right. And then he loads the shotgun with that.
Shooting shotgun shells out of the wrist. That's amazing. I made you a tiny bit bigger so everyone can see what you're describing. And I like how exactly when you said when it goes through the hand, the clip behind you was exactly at the moment where it shows off what it does. So it was perfect.
Brilliant.
Perfect timing. It's late here in Australia, so I need rest. Looking forward to playing the new updates. Keep up the great work with the games. I've really enjoyed what you did with Gen Zero and now this game. Thank you so much for the kind words. What's that name? Oh, PS2 Fatboy. Yes. Hi. Welcome to
Have a good night. Have a good night.
Yeah. Definitely have a good one, and thank you for the kind words. We cannot wait for you to start playing. But actually, we should start wrapping up the stream as well. It is getting late.
I think it's a shame. I'd love to keep playing, but
Me too, honestly. Maybe we can have you on again sometime after release. We'll see. Oh no, Tiny Beard is being eaten.
That's what we do.
14 days, indeed. 14 days. We're looking forward to it. Anyway, everybody have an amazing rest of the week. Please stay hydrated, stay safe. Next week, as mentioned, will be a dev stream where we have the art director on, Alan, and we'll have a lot to talk about how we made the new map, how we made lighting work, even how they changed caves to be more scary in the new map. And we'll have some exclusive looks at that as well. So definitely don't miss out on next week's dev stream.
Nice.
Athos,
thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
It has been an honor. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on. I would love to have you on again in the future.
Sounds great. Feel free to send me an invite.
I'll definitely think of that. All right. Have a great evening, everyone. And
bye, everyone.
Let's switch to the end card.